Georgetown mayor and the city council. The mayor says the waiver granted is legal and within the council's jurisdiction, and it stands firmly behind its decisions. Carice Gonzalez opens this evening's broadcast.
Minister of Local Government Sonia Parag has condemned the recent decision by Georgetown City Council for granting a 25% waiver on outstanding rates owed by One Communications, formerly the Guyana Telephone and Telegraph Company, GTT. Parag has since deemed this action unlawful and fiscally irresponsible. Mayor Alfred Mentor, in an exclusive interview with Nightly News, countered this criticism.
We choose to grant them a discount on the interest, so to speak, where they would still pay 75% of that interest, and 25% of it would be discounted, and also to pay the demand.
The mayor further explained that One Communication had raised concerns regarding the valuation of some of its properties, particularly the one located at 69 Brickdam, Georgetown. As a result, an agreement was reached to have the property revalued before approaching the relevant government agencies and ministries. According to the mayor, the company followed through with the re-evaluation, and based on the Municipal and District Councils Act, the City Council agreed to review the case and approved a 25% reduction on the interest charges. Mentor added that the discussions around this issue spanned both the previous and current governments. He suggested that the Minister of Local Government should seek advice and verify information before making public statements that could be based on inaccuracies.
What bothers me a great lot is for the minister, without the ink even drying on this matter, she could have gotten information from her, probably her counselors, that probably misguided her and did not give her all the facts to understand truly what is going on here.
The mayor also expressed concerns over Minister Parag's interference in the City Council's decision, calling it a direct challenge to the principle of separation of powers.
And these are the kind of things, like I said, based on separation of powers and autonomy of the council, that some ministers taking or inveigling themselves into matters that does not concern them.
In response to Parag's suggestion that the waivers were politically motivated as only a few entities benefited, Mentor rejected this claim.
And there are many persons from the PPP side, if you want to point fingers, who would have brought matters to the council and at times got even 100% waivers.
The city mayor emphasized that the council would continue to operate within its legal framework and resist any attempts by central government to overstep its bounds. I am Carice Gonzalez reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
The 2020 elections shenanigans must not reoccur, so says leader of the PNCR, Aubrey Norton. He says his party is keeping a bird-eyes view on his opponents. Here is more.
Opposition leader Aubrey Norton says the People's National Congress reform and its scrutineers are keeping a close eye on the People's Progressive Party Civic, particularly Barrett Jagdeo, in an effort to avoid any rejiggery pokery before and after the 2025 polls.
And I want it to be made clear that this election is one of the most crucial elections, and we are not going to allow Barrett Jagdeo to do nonsense. This is life and death. We prefer life.
Mr. Norton said the shenanigans that occurred during the 2020 elections will not be allowed to repeat itself.
You need to move the dead off of the list. Why? Because you can do mischief with the list as presently structured.
Following the March 2nd, 2020 polls, it was the APNU-AFC coalition that alleged clear and unmistakable patterns of irregularities and discrepancies following day 5 of the national vote recount. The coalition had cited a number of instances where dead persons were recorded to have cast their vote exclusively in PPP strongholds. There were also allegations of persons who have long migrated from Guyana and who were not in Guyana on election day being recorded to have voted.
And therefore, you find yourself in a position where you need to clean the list. And then there's another dimension. The evidence is overwhelming that the PPP is registering persons who are not eligible. And that is something we will have to address. There are many Venezuelans, Bangladeshi, Indians who the government are putting there.
The opposition leader was at the time speaking on the sidelines of picket action outside the Guyana Elections Commission, Kingston head office, where the joint opposition sounded their voices in support of a clean voters list and the use of biometrics at the upcoming elections. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
Travis Chase once again reports on the arrest of a policeman in the United States of America over his involvement in the drug trade in Guyana.
Usually reliable sources have confirmed with Nightly News that a sergeant of the Guyana Police Force was recently arrested and questioned at the Miami International Airport in the United States of America over his direct involvement in the drug trade in Guyana. The policeman's cellular phone was also confiscated and his United States visa revoked. The sergeant was put on the next flight back to Guyana, and the Nightly News can confirm that the said sergeant is yet to report his arrest and phone seizure to his superiors in the Guyana Police Force. But we are also able to confirm that when the policeman returned to Guyana, he was transferred from Region 1 and placed at the Tactical Services Unit of the Guyana Police Force. He is now on sick leave. Sources familiar with the arrest of the cop said that United States authorities are well aware of his direct involvement in the 4.4 tons of cocaine which had been found in 4 makeshift bunkers about 30 minutes from an illegal airstrip in Region 1 on September 1, 2024. Other sources have told Nightly News that the cop acts as a main conduit to the Colombian cartels. Other serving members of the Guyana Police Force and other top officials who have been implicated in the 4.4 tons of cocaine discovery. The Colombian cartel has a heavy presence in Guyana, especially in the interior locations, the source added. In recent times, several ranks of the Guyana Police Force have been stopped and questioned by United States authorities and their cellular devices confiscated. Nightly News reached out to head of the Corporate Communications Unit of the Guyana Police Force, Mark Ramatar. We wanted to know how many police officers in recent times have reported to the Acting Commissioner of Police or their superiors that they were detained, questioned, and phone confiscated while traveling to the United States of America. Mr. Ramatar promised to forward the question to the top cop. We are still awaiting an official response. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
Join us after this break for more news.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where Lighton's and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc. powering your life with elegance, quality, and key.
You don't leave anything to chance. Every day you click it, lock it, and mask up. Now press, rub, and wash with Sterling Super Soap. Our antibacterial formula eliminates 99.9% of all germs and bacteria. Clean and moisturize your hands with 4 refreshing and rejuvenating fragrances. Get super clean with Sterling Super Soap.
The Guyana Elections Commission GECOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by December 31st, 2024 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. How to apply for registration? You must visit the GECOM registration office that is responsible for the registration of persons from your area of residence to apply for registration or name change or correction. You must be in possession of the following source documents as might be relevant: original birth certificate or valid Guyana passport for new registration, original marriage certificate and original birth certificate in the case of a name change by way of marriage, original deed poll and original birth certificate in the case of a name change by deed poll, original naturalization certificate and original birth certificate in the case of naturalization. This registration exercise will end on November 29th, 2024. For further information, please contact GECOM on the following hotline numbers: 225-027729, 226-6557, 223-9650, or visit the GECOM website at www.gecom.org.gy.
Krishna Roff Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating, machinery, excavator repairs, rice field pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC Monrepo, East Coast, Demerara, or call 220-9624, 616-9416, or 619-7880. At Krishna Roff Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
Welcome back. You're with the HGP Nightly News. Government says it will continue to invest in the human resources capacity of the Guyana Defense Force and its veterans as World War heroes were remembered on Wednesday. More details from Daisy Richards.
World War I and II veterans were on Wednesday honored during a wreath-laying ceremony at the Veterans Monument at the Guyana Defense Force Headquarters, Base Campa in Ghana. President Irfan Ali, in his address to veterans as well as serving members of the Army, promised continuous support for the country's military.
Our human asset, which is the most important asset, is the center of our investment. That is why our human asset in the Guyana Defense Force today are exposed to enormous opportunities.
He highlighted several areas of training where serving members of the GDF have been capitalizing on.
International training, education, access to degree and postgraduate programs, better working conditions, improved welfare, all of these things that we're investing in.
The president also alluded to some of the benefits enjoyed by veterans.
Our program on dialysis, our program on spectacles distribution, our dental program, our healthcare program, our fortnightly program with the Defense Force doctors visiting your facility.
Remembrance Day or Poppy Day is observed on the second Sunday of November annually to honor those who died in World War I, which occurred from 1914 to 1918, and World War II from 1939 to 1945. For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
The Iwokrama International Center says it is concerned about the number of requests received for access through its forests to other areas. According to the center, several North Rupununi communities have also raised similar concerns, which go against the background that the forest has been faced with illegal mining since the COVID-19 pandemic. In a statement on Wednesday, the center says it has faced significant challenges with illegal insertions since these requests are being disguised as research proposals from the same individuals. Going forward, the center's management team board says permission will not be granted through the Iwokrama forest to any mining or forestry lands, and no mining activities will be allowed in the Iwokrama Reserve. Logging, hunting, and fishing are all prohibited unless permission is granted by Iwokrama's management. Furthermore, the center has warned that it has a zero tolerance for illegal activities as they are disruptive and threaten the integrity of the forest and its coveted international certification. any unauthorized persons found in the Iwokrama forest will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, including but not limited to the provisions of the Iwokrama Act, the center noted. ExxonMobil Guyana and its Stabroek Block co-ventures on Monday announced a key milestone in its operations offshore Guyana. Here's more.
ExxonMobil and its partners, Hess and CNOC, say they have reached 500 million barrels of oil produced from Guyana's offshore Stabroek Block. The company, in a statement on Monday, said their industry-leading pace of development enabled this production milestone less than 5 years after Guyana became an oil-producing nation. ExxonMobil Guyana President Alistair Rutledge said, quote, "Our unrivaled success in developing Guyana's oil resources at an industry-leading pace, cost and environmental performance is built to close collaboration with the government of Guyana, as well as our co-ventures, suppliers and contractors," end of quote. Rutledge added that the company, quote, "remains committed to Guyana for a long term and look forward to continue delivering for the country," end of quote. On Tuesday, it was revealed that ExxonMobil Guyana, Hess and CNOC have committed nearly $55 billion to develop 6 government-sanctioned projects on Guyana's offshore Stabroek Block. The first 3 projects, Liza Phase 1, Phase 2 and Payara, are averaging more than 650,000 barrels of oil per day in production. Plans are in place to grow production capacity to more than 1.3 million barrels of oil per day by the end of 2027, when the ExxonMobil Guyana-led consortium anticipates having all 6 projects up and running offshore. The company anticipates that oil production will generate tens of billions of dollars in revenue and significant economic development for Guyana. Exxon, which commenced first production late 2019, said more than $5.4 billion in oil revenues and royalties have since been paid to the Guyana Natural Resources Fund. It was also noted that more than 6,000 Guyanese have been in the employ of the oil giant, which represents nearly 70% of the local workforce. ExxonMobil Guyana Limited holds 45% interest in the Stabroek Block, while Hess Guyana Exploration Limited holds 30% and CNOC Petroleum Guyana Limited 25% interest.
Another success story for the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit. 3 men have been found guilty of cocaine possession and trafficking. Here is more.
3 men who were charged for trafficking in 10 kilograms of cocaine will remain guests of the state for the next 3 years. Magistrate Faith Magusti found Denzel Park, Ricardo Denart, and Patrick Ram guilty of cocaine trafficking. They were each sentenced to 3 years, 6 months imprisonment and fined $15,117,000. They were each sentenced to 3 years, 6 months imprisonment and fined $15,117,000. The 3 convicted drug traffickers were charged back in August of 2018. Agents of the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit, KANU, had said that acting on information, its ranks intercepted 2 vehicles at Popeye's parking lot, Vicingen Road, Georgetown. A subsequent search was done on both vehicles, and in the right side passenger front seat of the bus, a quantity of square brick-like parcels suspected to be cocaine was discovered. KANU had said that Denart came out of the vehicle with a shopping bag in his hands and headed over to a minibus. Parks and his 14-year-old son were occupants of the bus. As the exchange was done, KANU officers swooped down on both vehicles and nabbed the 4 accused. CCTV footage from the restaurant was also retrieved, and that formed part of the evidence in court. Park, age 49, a businessman; Denart, age 47, a taxi driver; Patrick Ram, age 24, a minibus operator; and a 14-year-old of Quarantine Berbice were arrested and charged for trafficking in over $7 million worth of cocaine. When the men made their first court appearance, the chief magistrate released the teen on $200,000 bail. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
Join us after the break for more news.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
Tropic Construction Solutions, we pride ourselves on being one of the leading distributors of high-quality woven and non-woven geotextile fabric, geotextile tubes, and geogrids for over 15 years in Guyana. We supply reflective vests, sleeves, quality hard hats, and more for your construction needs. We are located in number 2 Village, East Coast Berbice, 1 minute from Palmyra. Our distribution mechanism enables us to offer delivery across the city of Georgetown. Contact us at +5926-284-077 or visit our website at www.tcsgt.com.
GECOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by December 31, 2024 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. Where to apply for registration? You are required to visit the registration office that is responsible for the registration of persons in your area of residence to apply for registration. Office hours, Monday to Thursday, 8 to 12 hours, 13 hours to 16 hours 30, and Friday from 8 to 12 hours and 13 to 15 hours 30. The offices will be closed on weekends and holidays. This registration exercise will end on November 29, 2024. For further information, contact GECOM on 225-0277-9 or visit the website www.gecom.org.gy.
You're watching the HGP Nightly News. Thanks for staying with us. The Attorney General has announced plans to work collaboratively with the Guyana Bar Association to address growing concerns over the conduct of lawyers and the need for continuous professional education. This follows numerous complaints from citizens about the handling of legal matters. More details from Carice Gonzalez.
Attorney General AG Anil Nanlal, in his weekly program Issues in the News, revealed plans to engage the Guyana Bar Association to address concerns over lawyers' conduct and the need for ongoing professional development. Nanlal stated that he has been receiving a growing number of complaints from both local and international citizens regarding their handling of cases.
I really can't do much when people lodge these complaints, and there are many. There are many. I sometimes would call the lawyers and just get an update. But outside of that, my powers are very, very limited. I think that one way of addressing this issue is continuing education in the legal profession.
While no details were forthcoming on the type of complaints received, Nanlal noted that with the country's changing legislative landscape, lawyers must be cognizant of what is happening around them.
We are passing too many laws, too many important laws, not to have continuing education. And the government is prepared to partner with any profession, in particular the legal profession.
The AG further emphasized the need for legal professionals to stay current on new laws and practices to avoid falling behind in their duties.
In any event, lawyers are always expected to continue reading because that is the nature of the profession. You have to keep reading. The law changes with alarming frequency.
However, public dissatisfaction with legal representation has been a long-standing issue, with many citizens voicing frustration over poor services. While the Attorney General acknowledged his lack of disciplinary authority over lawyers, he believes the Guyana Bar Association could play a key role in addressing these concerns and holding legal practitioners accountable. I am Carice Gonzalez reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Neighbors are at loggerheads over a 12 feet high fence that has been causing much discomfort for a couple who are both pensioners. Daisy Richards reports.
Better Hope pensioners 81-year-old Paul Singh and 69-year-old Janet Singh is seeking justice from local authorities after a fence which was constructed by their neighbor has since caused them much discomfort. The 69-year-old pensioner highlighted to this newscast that after her husband fell ill, she decided to erect a shed where the elderly man could be comfortable due to the nature of his illness. She said once her shed was completed, the neighbor proceeded to construct a fence blocking fresh air from reaching her home. She said this caused her to rearrange her home so that her husband could enjoy what used to be much needed comfort. This move, according to the elderly woman, caused her neighbors to build an even higher fence, which further escalated the situation.
Then I make a shed, right? When I make the shed now, one day I lie down in the hammock and I look up and I say, man, the heat on the zinc, because my husband had stroke and he's a hard case, okay? So I said, let me just seal it at the top. Then he come and go in the hammock, look at the hammock there. Or sometimes he go on the swinger, and then if you stay there like a little 10 minutes, you start getting the black hole.
The Better Hope couple related that this controversial fence is currently encroaching on their land, and with additional works executed on the fence, they are now left without answers.
And I left to go to work, right? I don't close my gate because some people come and visit me. So when I gone, he sent over a man, and he nailed it from my side.
She related that numerous complaints were made to the Neighborhood Democratic Council due to the fence being over the recommended height requirement, but that proved futile. She related that being good neighbors, she requested that that part of the fence be removed, but that too was to no avail. Nightly News was shunned in our attempt to solicit a comment from the neighbor. Efforts to contact the local NDC office for a comment also proved futile. For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
Stay tuned for regional news.
This is Offshore Diaries.
Interested in honoring or paying tribute to a loved one, or just making a loved one feel special? HGP TV offers you all that and more. Air your birthday greetings, death announcements, and wedding anniversaries on HGP TV today. HGP TV offers affordable prices, convenience, and great services. Call us on 220-3660 or email us at sales@hgptv.com.
Good evening and welcome to Wednesday's edition of the Regional News. We begin with news from Grenada.
Heavy downpours have resulted in severe flooding in Grenada. Flooding has been reported in several areas, including River Road, Wester Hall, Woodlands, and the vicinity of the National Stadium. Videos online showed vehicles being washed away by strong floodwaters along River Road, while students were seen climbing on top of chairs at the flooded T. Mary Show Community College. The Ministry of Education in a statement advised principals, parents, and guardians that the deteriorating conditions caused by flash flooding must be taken seriously. It said school leaders have been advised to instruct students not to proceed into the flood-prone areas. The Ministry of Infrastructure is urging extreme caution. However, since the road is unpaved, the opening of the Molyneux Road is being employed as a temporary measure. We tell you now that the Federal Aviation Administration on Wednesday said it will bar U.S. airlines from operating in Haiti for 30 days after 3 commercial jetliners were struck by gunfire on Monday. The FBI said separately it was investigating the incidents and working with law enforcement partners. American Airlines said on Tuesday that it was the 3rd U.S. airline to have been plane struck by a bullet in Haiti. The carrier said American Flight 819 landed in Miami on Monday from Port-au-Prince, and a post-flight inspection indicated the exterior of the aircraft had been impacted by a bullet. Armed gangs in Haiti's capital have shot at aircraft in recent weeks as the security situation deteriorates. Last month, a UN helicopter was hit by gunfire over Port-au-Prince. And now for some international news. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump on Tuesday named Elon Musk and former Republican presidential candidate Ramaswamy to lead a newly created Department of Government Efficiency. Musk and Ramaswamy will pave the way for my administration to dismantle government bureaucracy, slash excess regulations, cut wasteful expenditures, and restructure federal agencies, Trump said in a statement. Trump said their work would conclude by July 4, 2026, adding that a smaller and more efficient government would be a gift to the country on the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. The appointments reward 2 Trump supporters from the private sector. Musk gave millions of dollars to support Trump's presidential campaign and made public appearances with him. Trump had said he would offer Musk, the world's richest person, a role in his administration promoting government efficiency. I am Carice Gonzalez. Thank you for watching.
City Mayor defends Council's 25% interest waiver to One Communications. PNC are keeping a close eye on the PPPC ahead of 2025 elections. 2020 elections shenanigans must not occur. Norton, Guyana police sergeant arrested in the U.S., directly involved in the local drug trade source, and Better Hope pensioners at loggerheads with a neighbor over 12 feet high fence. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Alethea Grant. Thanks for watching.